Ohio State kicks Rutgers' butts all the time. Tim, Bill, Doug. First the numbers, then we'll try to explain why after this 56-0 win in Piscataway Saturday night. Tim, what are the numbers?
The numbers in 4 wins for JT Barrett, 1,340 yards of total offense. And passing-wise alone, 68 of 100 for 997 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. Pretty good, I'd say.
1,340 yards in 4 games. And what's the total score?
I think it's 219-24, I think.
Okay, so 219-24. What is it about this matchup? Here's my theory, I think. I think Rutgers has a little bit of decent talent because there is talent in New Jersey. They don't get a ton of it, but I think they're a bad team that has a little bit of talent, and sometimes when they play like good teams that aren't super talented but are solid, their talent can keep them in the game here and there and here and there, like against Washington maybe. You know what I mean? Like, or like they might go beat like a team in the West that's like a solid team but isn't filled with 5-star guys. The little bit of Rutgers talent that Rutgers has, that little bit of talent just gets squashed by Ohio State's overwhelming talent, and I don't know that they have like the fundamental stuff to keep them together like sometimes like other scrappy, less talented teams would do. Buy it?
I mean, Ohio State's that much more talented than every team they play. I get what you're saying. I do kind of buy it a little bit. What do bad teams do when they play Ohio State? Usually, what do bad teams do? What do bad defenses in particular do usually when they play Ohio State?
What do bad defenses do when they play Ohio State? I don't know.
They usually switch things up a little bit and like try to throw a little curveball. Chris Ash doesn't do it. Like, the stuff that Ohio State sees on film every time they play Rutgers is the stuff they do out here. And JT Barrett's like, okay, let me throw it over your head for a touchdown. It's unbelievable to me that Chris Ash, who is a great defensive coach, comes out here on this field with a huge talent deficit and tries to play man defense against Ohio State when, like, Army and Oklahoma and Indiana and even UNLV play a little bit of zone coverage and, like, at least don't let Ohio State run by you on every play.
So it was 58-0 last year, 56-0 this year. Chris Ash basically invented Ohio State's defense, which they now practice against every day, and which he now brought to Rutgers. Okay, what's your theory, Tim?
You kind of hit it on the head. I think Ohio State just has such a talent edge over Rutgers, and I think there's a lot of Rutgers more trying to play to what it thinks it can do rather than adjusting to its opponent in this case. Like Bill was talking about, the fact that they didn't really play zone, they play a lot straight up man defense. That's what Ohio State wants to see. They practice against man defense all summer long. That's what they were talking about when they were completing the deep balls. That was happening all summer long. They were going up against man defense. Apparently Rutgers didn't hear about that. They went man, and guess what happened? JT Barrett threw over their heads again and again and again.
Rutgers too confident in itself, and also here's the bottom line. That's the problem with Rutgers. They shouldn't be in the Big Ten. Tim, Bill, Doug, see ya.